Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10, but it's not popping. I don't know what's going on. Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't say 7. Go ahead.
You already know. Every time is a 10.
All right. Sammy, what about you?
You said you can't say 7?
Yeah.
Oh, then I would say 6.
Okay.
9.
Didn't you say 10 previously?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you downgrade?
I gained some weight. No. Dyed my hair a different color, gained some weight, got a couple more experiences on my belt.
Okay.
I laughed enough. You didn't have to play that.
A range between 7.5 and like 7.9, depending on the day.
Okay.
I would say 8.5.
All right.
I would say 10.
Okay.
I'd say like 5 or 6.
8.
5. Andrew, what about you?
4.
So we got 2 10s at the table here. Let's dig into this a little bit, and a 9 over here. Let's dig into this a little bit. So I'll just go right out the gate here and say, there's no 10s at the table. Not a 10, not a 10, not a 9. I'm sorry. Very sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sure. Because you are the judge of all. Yes.
Yes, I'm the arbiter.
Absolutely.
I'm the arbiter and
Yes.
the judge and
Yes.
the executioner
Yes.
of female beauty.
Absolutely.
That's right. That is right, yeah.
I mean,
What do you got to say?
I can't be mad that a 2 is rating me not a 9.
Well, see, now
Why?
that's just
I
like
don't
predictive.
understand that logic. And wouldn't a person who was ugly know ugly when they saw it?
I guess.
Just saying.
What'd you rate yourself?
Stands to
5.
reason.
Yeah.
Why do you think of yourself as a 5? What's negative about you?
Well, much like my friend here, I've gained some weight.
I noticed.
And yeah, I noticed
A lot
too.
of in and out.
I noticed too. Actually, I think you put on a little more than me, though. You know what I mean? But, yeah,
I don't know about
kinda
that
did.
one.
It probably did. Let's hop on the scale. But anyways, let's see. I mean, look, I'm I got I definitely gained some weight. I've gained some weight. Got to lose some weight. I got a dad bod right now. I got some okay things going for me. You know, I can still luckily have a maybe got full head of hair still a little bit. Maybe it won't last long. Blue eyes, tall, 6'1", but otherwise, yeah, face not unremarkable.
Trust fund?
Trust fund? What does that have to do with? Oh, yeah, okay. Finance, yeah.
That wouldn't enhance physical beauty.
It wouldn't enhance physical
was a
appearance. Yeah, I think I'm, pretty average, I guess. Yeah.
So I have a quick question. Raise your hands if you said 10. What? I know more than one person said 10. Come on.
I
Raise
said
the
9.
hands if you said 10.
It was her, and then she said 9.
Okay, and then she said 9. Okay. So then to the gal in the yellow dress, are you the prettiest girl in the room?
No.
Then who is?
I think we're all pretty in our own ways, and I think...
Yeah, that wasn't the question I asked. If you're not the prettiest girl in the room,
I don't have an answer
who
for
do you
that.
think the prettiest girl in the room is?
I don't have an answer for that. I don't...
Well, but it's
I
not
don't
you,
think she's
right?
more beautiful than her. I don't think she's more beautiful than her. I think they all look different, and they all look amazing in their own ways.
So just to be clear, let's assume that inside of that room, there was a girl who had half of her face burned off in a horrific accident. Her teeth were showing on the side of her mouth, and her tongue was hanging out of it.
Okay.
Would you still say she was a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then you're really not actually rating physical
Bullet
beauty,
donated
right? You're just
$69. Have them rate themselves, then the girl to the right, then ask woman in black if any of them were lying.
Yeah, so
Go ahead,
then the
Andrew.
thing is you're not actually engaging with the spirit of the question because you're essentially saying that the Hunchback of Notre Dame is a 10. It basically everybody's a 10, right? Everybody on planet Earth's a 10.
Right.
Yeah, so then there's just no ugly people.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's ugly people in the world.
Not a single one.
No.
Everyone's pretty.
So like a wicked witch with a big schnoz with a wart on it, you know, and she's missing all of her teeth, and she's just ugly. You know what I mean? She's a 10 in your world.
Well, you're talking about. Well, that's totally your
A made-up character.
Yeah, it's a made-up character.
Wait. Who cares if it's a made-up character? It's not a made-up character. There's definitely old, crone-looking witches who are hideous who exist in this world, but you're saying they're a 10, right?
To someone.
No, not to someone. That doesn't even follow that they'd be a 10 to somebody. That's just like made-up tripe, right? It's made-up tripe.
So I think everyone here is a 10. I think everybody that is human was created beautifully in their own ways, and I think that's it.
There's definitely...
Okay, so there's no such thing as a 9, there's no such thing as an 8, there's no such thing as a 7. Everybody on planet Earth's a 10?
Yeah, I think everybody is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Men, women,
So with the spirit of the question of you, the prism of you,
okay.
Have you ever judged anybody less good looking than
Lol
somebody
Paladins
else?
donated $69.
I didn't hear
Doesn't
the question.
even matter that there aren't any 9s or 10s at this table. Mentally and relationship material, you're all number 1 out of 10 in my book.
Word.
Okay.
I think
anyway,
it's
kind of back to this.
Can I add to what you're saying, Andrea?
No, hang on. Let me
May I
finish
add,
the
Andrew?
inquiry here.
Andrew,
No,
may I
hang
add
on. Let me finish the
Okay,
inquiry.
I'll wait for you.
Yeah, let me finish the inquiry. So, what I'm wondering is then, if you think everybody on planet Earth's a 10, you have never judged anybody as being not good looking? Ever?
Well, no, it's not that they're not good looking. Maybe I'm just not attracted to them. It's probably not my preference if that's... I don't know. I think it's very shallow question.
So you've never judged anybody on planet Earth as being not good looking? I just want to make sure I got that clear.
No, I don't think so.
No, okay. So have you ever told a lie?
I'm sure I have.
Yeah, are you telling one right now?
No, absolutely not.
No? Are you sure?
Yes, I
You're
stand
sure
on my
you're
word.
definitely never judged anybody on the planet you've ever met as being not good looking? Not even once? It's never crossed your mind? You've never been like, oh man, you're ugly. You've never thought that before? Never?
No, I don't think
No? No, never? Not even once, ever?
so. No, I think it's a very shallow thing to say. I think it's a very hurtful thing to say.
I didn't say it. I said think it.
Oh, no. Still no.
You've never thought it? You've just
I've never
Everybody's
looked at someone
a
and
beautiful
been
person.
like, oh my God, he is so ugly. I don't.
I think that.
Really? I know. I was gonna say. I
All the
feel like I've
time.
definitely seen some pretty ugly people in the world, but
So let me ask you a question. If every man from your standard is a 10, then why would you have preferences at all?
I don't have a preference.
Bullshit.
You got to speak into the mic. I can't hear
Oh,
you.
sorry. I don't have a preference.
You have 0 preferences for dating.
So you would date him.
True.
Then how come 15 seconds ago, right, I just asked you this question and you said, I've turned men down before, but it's because they don't meet my preferences.
Wait, sorry?
Not in love.
Just a second ago in this very conversation,
Okay.
you said, I've turned men down before because they don't meet my preferences.
Well,
You've literally just said that.
yes, but not in terms of like how they look. Maybe in terms of personality or things
How
like
would
that.
you know their personality? You turned them down. And like, what's the
Wait, what do
fastest
you
you've
mean?
ever turned a guy down? What's the fastest?
I don't know. I guess it depends. I would say,
I don't normally 2 seconds.
yeah, like 2 seconds right away.
Yeah,
It
like
depends
2
how you
seconds.
approach.
So you don't know
Time
anything
your
about his
interactions.
personality.
Yeah,
You
I
don't know
don't time that.
anything. Wait, you know nothing about his personality in 2 seconds. So why are you turning him down?
You can know
He's a
something
10.
about somebody's personality in 2 seconds. Depends on their approach.
What
If somebody comes
could
up
you
to
know
me right
about
away
a
and he's
personality
like,
of somebody who comes over and goes, "Hey, can I have your phone number?" What does that tell you about their personality?
I would say that he's pretty quick, and I'm not even a hello first. Just give me your phone number. I don't like that.
So, you turn men down not because they don't meet a physical attractiveness level, but because in the 2 seconds it took you to talk to them,
Lol
you were
Paladins
able to
donated
gauge and judge their
$69.
entirety of their personality.
Don't even
to the point
engage
where you
this
rejected them
troll.
only on that
She's such a bad
criteria.
liar. Stop the cap, you fibber.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably the most over-the-top amount of lies I've ever heard out of a woman on this show. Consecutively. You've never turned a guy down because he was bad-looking. Every man on planet Earth is a 10. You have no physical preferences whatsoever, and the only reason you've ever shot a guy down is because you can tell everything that you need to know about their personality in 2 seconds. Do I have that about right?
I guess so.
Okay, yeah, this is beyond the beyond. But anyway, I'll turn it over to the gal in black. Go ahead.
Conventional attraction is definitely a thing. Like there is a biological way, and even babies can tell when someone has a symmetrical, attractive face and don't. I think what you're saying is beautiful in theory, but I think in practice, most people don't operate that way. And I also think that the question, like we can rate ourselves, but really the people who can answer whether someone is a 9 or a 10 are the people that you're trying to attract, because dating is a market. It's the mating market. So you don't really get to decide as a woman or a man if you're a 9 or a 10. The market decides for you what your rating actually is.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that, but I also think that you are correct that there are some sorts of objective standards and that there must be, because I do think that most of us would agree that a woman who had half her face melted off, her teeth are showing on this side, her tongue hangs out, probably is not going to be a beautiful woman. You're probably not going to say that they're beautiful, and probably nobody on planet Earth is going to say that, right? We would agree. There must be some standard there that we're looking at that we all are kind of repulsed by. So I would agree with this in a sense, but my greater question is to the other gal who said she's a 10. That would be, you know who I'm talking.
Yes, but wait. I have a question for you.
You got to talk right in the mic, or I can't hear anything.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, as soon as you answer mine, and then I'll answer yours, I promise.
Fair, go.
Right, is that a deal? Good deal?
Sure, you got it.
All right, great. So, are you the prettiest girl in that room?
I find some of these women very pretty,
Yeah, I know.
more
You know
than
what my
maybe
question
the
was. Can you
other.
repeat my question? Hang on. Can you repeat my question to me?
Am I the prettiest girl in the room?
Yeah, now answer that question.
I feel like that would be very self-conceited to say I am the prettiest girl in the room.
Yeah, I agree. But you're the only one who rated yourself besides the other one as a 10.
And that's their choice to rate them
I
that
get it.
way.
I get it. So are you the prettiest girl in the room, do you think? Or could you point to a girl you think is prettier
Maybe
than you?
according to 30 of 100 people watching, or according to other people, but according to you. According to you, are you the prettiest girl in the room? Well, I'm not looking for I'm not trying to find myself attractive. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm the most.
Okay, answer. Tell me again. What's my question to you?
Am I the prettiest girl in the room?
Now, hang on. Now that we know for sure that you know what my question is, answer that question. Don't make a new one up. Answer that
I'm not trying to make a
question.
new one up. I don't think I'm the prettiest girl in the room, but I do
Then
think
who
I'm
is?
a 10.
Then point at the one you think is.
But the question was, what do you?
No, let her do it.
Point at the one you think is.
Over there.
There's a girl over there.
It's Brian. Brian is the prettiest girl in the room.
Can you point to the female in the room who you think is the prettiest?
I'm not going to do that because I don't want to make other women feel a certain kind of way. So I'm going to keep my opinions to myself away.
You're not going to make them feel like they're the prettiest girl in the room? That's really weird. Can you point to the prettiest girl in the room?
No, because I'm not trying to make anyone else feel like they're not pretty, because they're going to be beautiful to someone else.
You know what? That's fair. So can we assume then that you do think that there are girls in that room who are prettier than other girls in that room?
I think that there are a lot of pretty women in this room, and I have my preference on
some of them are
who
prettier
is,
than others?
according to my preferences.
Yes, according to your preferences. That's
According
right.
to my tastes, yes, because I like what I like in women, just like you like what you like in women. So do you rate your wife a 10?
So then
Wait,
hang on.
do you? I answered your
so
question.
then-
it's my turn to ask you yours.
Yeah, no,
that was
my
our
wife's
deal.
a 6. Yeah, my wife's a 6.
And have you said that to her face?
She says it about herself.
That sucks.
You know why? Because she's not fucking delusional. So, because she's not delusional, she lives in reality where the rest of us live. She was able to ascertain that she's not the most beautiful fucking woman on the planet. And that she's not a 10 because there's other women who are
But she should be the most beautiful to you.
Hang on. There's other women who are objectively better looking than she is because she's not a delusional fucking lunatic. She was able to go, wait a second, I can look around the world and I can clearly see that there's other women who are more attractive than me. Isn't that interesting?
But
right?
She should be a 10 in your book.
That my wife lives in
and
grounded
you should
reality.
view your woman as a 10. That is the thing, and she should not settle for you calling her a 6 because she might
Who are you
like
to tell me? Should she settle for a porn star? Gets dicked down by dudes? Like what should she settle for?
Oh, you had to go for that dig. I'm retired. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, you retired what? Last week? When did you retire?
Okay. You went for the cheap shot.
No, you went for the cheap shot.
No,
so
I had to ask.
Right, it's like I wouldn't have made it personal. You made it personal.
But
right?
why is your wife a 6? Why do you agree that she is a 6? Why would you not try to build her up to an 8 or a 10?
Because I live in objective reality. And inside of objective reality, I can tell that women who weigh 400 fucking pounds, right, aren't as beautiful as women who don't weigh 400 pounds. And almost everybody agrees with my assessment, including my wife. And, by the way, you, and the girl next to you, and the girl next to her, and the girl next to her, and the girl next to all of you agree with me. Then anything short of that is just you being lying copers, right? You're just lying and coping. That's what you're doing, isn't it?
No.
Or do you think that the chicks from my 600-pound life, do you think that they're as pretty as the girl next to you? I'm just curious. Just want to make sure I get this right.
I think it's about what you find attractive.
Of course.
So some men like that.
Do most men like it?
You'd be surprised. You'd be very
You'd be surprised.
You would go on Reddit and have a field day. You will, your jaw will drop and your mind will.
Yeah, at this teeny tiny minority of men who all get together over a fetish. Yeah, I don't care about that. Objectively, obviously, most men are not pining after 600-pound women. That's absurd. And you know it's absurd. It's like, so why not just say, look, Andrew, it is true.
Okay, fine, Andrew. If you want to call your wife a 6,
600-pound chicks,
call her
they don't.
6. If you want to call your wife a 6, call her 6.
What about her calling herself a 6? Is she delusional?
That's her choice.
Yeah, so is she delusional?
No.
No? Okay, so
If
then
she believes
should
that,
I
then-
be countermanding what my wife says about herself?
You should try to build her up, is what you should try
How
to
am I tearing her down? Do you think it's tearing a person down to allow them to live in objective reality with the rest of us? Do you think that that's beating them up? Am I tearing her down by understanding that, I'm a 4, and if she agrees with that, that's totally fine. That means I hit up. I struck out of my league. I got a chick who's way hotter than I assess myself as. Right? What's wrong with that?
If you're happy with that, then I'm happy for you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the world is pretty happy with people living inside of the reality of the world, right? Where the chick who has scalding burns on the side of her face and her face melted off and her tongue
Lol
hanging out
Paladins
probably
donated
isn't that beautiful.
$69. Stop the prattle, woman. You giving Andrew advice is the funniest thing I've seen on this show in months. Also, Rachel is a solid 7. She gets +1 point for not being this retarded.
Yeah, Rachel, I think you're a 7, Rachel. You're definitely 7.
She's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
She's a 7.
Uh-huh. And how many of you think you're prettier than she is? The truth. Like, if I asked you the truth,
I
would
think
you
your
even
wife
tell
is
me?
beautiful.
Like, let me
Look
just
at
ask
her
this.
smile.
Hang on.
Look at
Let me
how much
ask you a
she's
different-
glowing.
Hang on. Let me ask you a different question.
Okay.
Okay. If any of you right now actually did think in your brain that you were prettier than my wife, would you lie to me?
No, I wouldn't lie to you.
You wouldn't?
No, I think your wife
Then are you
is
prettier
beautiful.
than my wife?
No, I think your wife is beautiful.
Yeah,
I think
are you
she's
prettier?
prettier. She's got so much
Yeah, but what's
more.
the question? What's the question?
Because your wife is not a 6. That's the thing.
What's the question? Tell me what
I already
my question
asked your
was.
question. I already asked you my question. I said, "What do you?"
No. I asked
What do you
you a
think your
question.
wife?
I asked you the question.
You asked me if I think I am more beautiful than your wife, and I said no. Your wife is beautiful.
Does that mean she's prettier than you?
I think she's beautiful. Yes, she's prettier. I think that she has
She's prettier than you.
Yes, she is.
Okay,
beautiful.
great. Is she prettier than the girl next to you?
That's not for me to say.
Right, so you would lie, right? But how can you rate her, my wife, as being prettier than
compared to
you? But
me?
you're
That
rate
is
the girl
how I
next
am
to you as
rating
being prettier
her.
than the wife.
I
don't get that.
I am saying compared to me, she is prettier. I am doing that comparison, and I have the ability, and I feel like I can consciously say that, but I'm not going to speak against her.
But what it tells me is that means that you can look at other women and assess by your standard if you think they're pretty or not. Which means to me that you can do that with the girl next to you. And you can compare that girl to my wife too, using that same standard. And then what do we come up with? The truth now. What's the truth?
I think it's about what you like.
Let's see a big picture of her so that we can actually make an informed decision.
You're so full of cope and lying.
Look, I know that's the new internet word is cope, but can you get a new one?
What else can I say? Like, if you say, well, I can judge that she's prettier than me, but I can't judge that she's prettier than her, what would I say to that other than you're full of shit? That makes no sense.
I'd prefer that. I'd be like, you're full of shit, instead of saying
you're totally
some
full
generational whatever. Be like, you're full of shit. I'll be like, all right then, cool.
Right, you are. You are, right? Like, and so that's why it's cope. The reason it's cope is because you're full of shit.
Let's not use Gen Z whatever lingo. It's full of shit, you know?
Wait, that wouldn't the lingo for full of shit be millennial? And then
I feel like
wouldn't cope be more like the new generation lingo?
I would say cope would be new generation. I would say like full of shit. I would say, hang on.
Lol Paladins donated $69. Asking a woman if she would lie is like asking a used car salesman if he would lie to you while he gives you a 22% interest rate loan. You think you're being kind, but your dishonesty isn't kind.
Let's see a picture of her so that we can be honest. Like a big picture.
There's a little picture.
Where? The one that pops up earlier? Yeah. It was hard to see.
I just think, like, the question is subjective.
Leggett_Lanius_Jr. donated $69. Ladies, the easy answer here is this: yes, Andrew, you are right here. I just don't want to hurt their feelings. The fact that you don't see this is because you have too much pride to admit he's right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to actually agree with the chatter here. I have to.
I said I don't want to.
I know from talking basically everyone. Like, if I was having a private conversation with you and I was like, oh, God, that chick is ugly. You'd be like, yeah, she's gross. But when asked here, right, in person, and you have to actually say that shit out loud, you're like, no, hell no, I'm not doing that. Even though you do think it, and we all know you think it, and that's why we know you're all full of shit, right? That's why we know. And I understand what you're going to say, Red, and I just want to make sure I got this right. You're going to say it's all subjective.
I'm just saying I wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings because that's not part of who I am. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, she's my type, 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 she's not my type, she's my type, she's my type. I'm not going to go through this.
Why would it hurt their feelings?
I'll do it. If we're just looking for someone to be honest so that the argument isn't you're all full of shit, I'll do it. I think Morgan and Maddie are the prettiest on the table.
Ivan Jr. donated $69. If this logic was true, marriage would be more successful. Birth rates would be on the rise. It should be very easy for me to take any of you out and get married. We're all 10s, so a proposal is easy.
Okay.
Was that a question?
Yeah, we're still waiting for you to give your ratings, Sam.
Oh, I said Morgan and Maddie.
But give the ratings around the room for the girls.
Oh, you want me to give ratings for one around the room?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not a dude, but if I were selecting for my clients, probably a 6, a 7.5 as well.
You can't use 7.
Not at all? Not even percentages?
Not a 7. Can't use a 7. You can use 1 through 10 except 7.
Why though?
But why?
We could use 7.
Because then we know which way you actually lean.
Well, I think she has an amazing body. I do think she has a beautiful face.
I get it.
Beautiful eyes.
I get it. So then leaning towards 8?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then 8.
6, 8, 6, 6, 8.
So why do you think it is? Or let me ask a different question. When they say that they think that they're 10s, do you think they're being honest?
No, I think they could be 10s, some of them, but I don't think they're being. I think that it is a beautiful theory to live in, but again, theory isn't practice. So they might think that there's 10s, but the proof, if we had to sit down and look at the evidence, it's probably not showing that they are.
Yeah, so why do you think they rate themselves that way?
I don't know. I don't want to speak for them.
Yeah, but why do you think not just them specifically, but why do you think women rate themselves as 10 when they're obviously not?
To feel better about themselves.
To feel better about themselves, for sure.
Yeah, so would you call that coke?
Reality donated $69.
Isn't that what that word means?
Are you a 10 at basketball? Are you a 10 at cooking? Are you a 10 at doing your makeup? Where do we draw the line in insisting that everyone must be a 10 at everything?
Yeah, I think it's to piggyback on what Maddie said. I think it's because they want to feel better. But I think that they could be 10s if they did certain things. But a lot of people, and I'm not necessarily speaking about them, but a lot of people want to believe that they're better than they are because the work it would take to close the gap between where they actually are and where they want to be is a lot for a lot of people.
Pretend to be Vivo.
But also, if you say something, your brain will do more things to try and prove that you are that. So say I want to be a 10, and I'm like, I'm a 10, so I'm going to do things in my power to try and make myself better. Rather than me saying, oh, I'm a 4, so I'm always just going to be stuck here. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to go backwards when I can work to be better?
Well, you're not, but you're not stuck as being a 4. Like if you can say I want to be a 10. Like for example, if I were doing this for myself, I would sit down and be like, all right, where's the gap? Like maybe I need to work on my body. Like maybe I need to work out more. Maybe I need to clear my skin. Maybe I need to make my hair healthier. I would find the things that would make me a 10. I would still feel confident as a 6, but I would also know
Erroneous! Sorry.
Here's the gap. It's kind of like if I want to be a millionaire and I'm not. I can tell myself I'm a millionaire, but if I don't take certain actions toward becoming a millionaire, it's not going to happen. I mean, I can tell people that. I can think it. And I get what you're saying, brainwash yourself to believing that you are that. But you have to match it up with action.
I got to come in here a little bit. All right. There's a limitation to what you can achieve with your looks. Like you said, well, work on my fitness, work on my skin. People are going to be hard capped. Your maximum potential, you could be right now, you're a 5. I'm not speaking to you, just a woman could be a 5. Perhaps her maximum potential is a 7. No matter.
I mean, it depends. Does she get plastic surgery? Because there's also plastic surgery.
Well, you don't want to hear my take on plastic surgery. That shit makes women less attractive. That fake titties, that's -2 points.
If you can detect it.
What do you mean?
But if you can't detect, what's your favorite? If you did have a celebrity crush, who would you choose? What woman? Just ideal, kind of like
Kylie Jenner. Or
no. But no. I'm saying kind of like you were saying earlier, Ryan Reynolds, right? He's the epitome of handsome family man, whatever.
Yeah.
What's your equivalent? What's your?
Desert Joe donated $69. Saying you're a 10 is telling yourself you are perfect, which would imply there is nothing to improve. This is just being delusional. Rating yourself honestly will drive you to want to improve.
So. Desert Joe, thank you for that, man. So, I mean, to answer your question, we were talking about plastic surgery and the detectability of the fake titties. First off, I have an excellent fake titty radar. Just letting you know. Really, I know. 5 seconds, I've already. You could be wearing a turtleneck, and I know if you got fake titties. Okay, just saying. So, because you're saying like, yeah, she's a 7, but then she gets fake titties. Now she's a 9.
No,
or a 10.
not fake titties. Like what? No, there's so many other surgeries other than fake titties.
Yeah,
I'm saying like, what's a prototype of a woman that you consider attractive? A famous one. That way we all know who we're talking about.
I'll give you something.
Lol Paladins donated $69. If I lost 50 pounds, I'd be 8, because I've been there in the past. But I'm not there now. The question is important because we are trying to see if you are Delulu. We aren't asking your potential.
And that's where I think the last TTS was important, because it's like, and this is, I think of it in the fitness aspect of things. It's like, if you say you're a 10, you feel as though that you are at your max potential. But if you say you're a 6, you understand that there's area for improvement. So you're being honest with yourself that there's an area for you to improve upon, which then motivates you to improve upon it. So like when I was an amateur competitor, I didn't walk around saying I'm a pro. I walked around saying I want to be a pro. So then I sat and reflected on what is it going to take for me to turn pro. And then I started implementing the things and then became a pro. That's a little bit more attainable of a goal.
That's weird, right? Because I don't even understand that. So even inside of that world, the world of weightlifting and this type of competition, you can still max out your potential for what you can do with your
body. I just finished this sentence.
Okay, are we back?
Yeah.
Okay. What I was asking is, couldn't you max out your potential and still be ugly as sin?
But in the bodybuilding world, you're still judged on your physique, not the way your face looks.
Yeah, so but that's not really alluding to the question, right?
No. Well, I don't know if you.
Yeah,
I'm also agreeing with you, so I don't think you actually heard what I said. My point is that there's always room for improvement. So if you understand and you meet yourself where you're currently at, you understand that there's area for improvement. So if you understand that you're only a 4 or you're a 5, there's things that you need to improve on. So like for me, as an amateur competitor,
you're making the comparison for how you would perceive that through physique. I understand what you're saying now. All right, but so now that we've got that settled, do you think that there are at least some types of objective standards that people hold kind of across the board? Not every human being, right? Obviously, there's weirdos out there, but generally that people hold that can be agreed on when it comes to beauty standards.
100%.
Yeah. So then if you were to go back around the room and you were to rate, how would you rate them?
I would say 8, 6, 8, 6, 8. Since 7's not a thing.
So why do you think that women are rating themselves a 10?
I agree, to feel better about themselves, to boost their confidence, boost the way that they view themselves, because they want to feel better about themselves, so they're going to say they're a 10, so they feel like a 10.
Isn't that kind of delusional?
I guess it's perception, yeah.
And why should anyone else's opinion matter? If I'm a 10, I can also be striving for improvement, but if
you're not a 10.
Yeah, I can be a 10 and still working on things.
How can you be perfect but then need more perfect?
You can get even more perfect. You can achieve Super Saiyan 10.
How can you be perfect and then be more perfect than perfect?
The scale can grow. How about that? But I'm just saying, you can be 10 and you can still work on yourself and you can still grow from there. And why should anyone else's opinion matter?
So you're going to be, okay, so let's assume that 10 is the highest number in the world. There's no number mathematically which is higher than the number 10. Mm-hmm. How can you then be a 10.5 or a 10.2?
That's your reality, and my reality is different than yours.
Scale. No one ever did BMS. Woman Crush Wednesday. Would you like me to rate you?
So if we're living in different realities, right? Either neither of the realities are true, or only one of them is, right?
I am living my reality. I'm living in my reality right now. And you're living in yours. You're in a small square box in my reality. In your reality, I'm on your computer screen. That is our reality.
In a small square box, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we're both in the same reality, right?
All right.
Except one of us is able to still do ratings in this reality that are realistic and the other one isn't, which is really weird. But it's like one of us lives in a real reality and the other one lives in a kind of delusional place.
Ivan Jr.